one Hindu, hardcore Hindu, killed Mahatma Gandhi 1 year after independence in 1948. Go and study it. Do you know why he killed this man? He said, you have done very well. I did it. They caught him. And do you know the funny part? Do you know who caught that man after shooting 3 bullets at point blank range? Giving Mahatma Gandhi 3 bullets at point blank range. Do you know who caught him? Or who was handy in catching that person when he was trying to flee? It was, I think, a British or British embassy official that was in the crowd. If our people understand how things work, how politics is so sophisticated, I am telling you, we shall be also sophisticated in mindset, in our thinking, in our behavior. I am telling you, in our political thoughts. Let me tell you what happened. Mahatma Gandhi fought the British without guns, neither bullets, to a standstill, forced them to give India independence. But the people took over the struggle and reorganized themselves. And, innovated that struggle. It becomes the people's struggle. Now, when the people are doing their thing, say, look, if we have this, if we continue living in this, or have independence as this big India, big country, big India, that it will not be to the advantage of us as a people. But Mahatma Gandhi did not see it with them, exactly like Azikiwe. He did not see it. He said, no, I want that big country. It is what I fought for. The people said no. Naturally, they divided themselves because of their core value system or differences in core values. The Pakistani side are Muslim, the India side are Hindus mostly. So they say, if we accept to live together as one country, we will be killing ourselves. Exactly what is happening in Nigeria, because our values are completely different, and not only that, divergent. But this man, Mahatma Gandhi, is a great man. He disagreed. He said, no, we must be one country. Even after the independence that saw India and Pakistan came out, to the consternation, to the surprise of Britain. Now, you know what? They started using him. The British Secret Service started manipulating the same Mahatma Gandhi that fought them, in order to do what? To make sure that whether they will continue being together as one country. I don't know whether people understand what I mean. So, no person is above manipulation. I said nobody. The colonizers are masters. When they cannot defeat you directly down, they try a way to manipulate you, using that thing you believe in order to manipulate you. They did it to Azikiwe now. But the people were at alert. Are you getting what I'm saying? They checkmated their hero. They checkmated him. Say no. When the person they caught, so they continue. The British Secret Service continue keeping eye on Mahatma Gandhi to make sure whether he can reverse that two country, India, Pakistan, promoting him. Oh, we want to one India, because what Britain wanted to do, what they planned initially was to create a very big, giant Asian zoo that could be up to 2 billion people by now, where they will be killing themselves, as Nigeria is doing. Where one part will be, they will not even have time to be advancing technologically. Now Britain will be taking away their resources, their natural resources, and coming as peacemakers, as they are doing in Nigeria. Remember Captain Aliang, when he was the British High Commissioner in Nigeria, every time he said no democracy. He said no, the election was though there were skirmishes, but some people were killed anyway. But in general, it is free and fair. They promote all these things. These are master planners. Remember, Britain got their independence. England got their independence from the Roman Empire in between 410 to 412 AD. People that have been there going to 2,000 years. What do you think? They know if they cannot fight you, they manipulate you, and you fall down. They get the same result. That is what they wanted to use Mahatma Gandhi to do. To use sentiment and say, oh, we are one India, no need of dividing. No. We come together, we are one people. There is a strength in diversity, as they have been telling Nigerians. But lo and behold, the people understood. They took action. Somebody have to do the job, the dirty job. When the man killed Mahatma Gandhi, there was a shock in the whole of India. It was a total shock that time, but I know now they are grateful to that man. That is how the world is. Some things may happen, it will be a shock. That generation will not understand, but later the generations coming will now understand what happened and be grateful that, oh, at least they are grateful that this thing took place. Had it didn't take place, we would have been in a mess today. So one person did the job and removed Mahatma Gandhi. The man, they caught him, tried him, and convicted him, and sentenced him to death by hanging through the gallows. Do you know what he said during his audition? The last statement he made. He said, listen, Indians, listen to me. I'm going to die. I know that. I take responsibility of what I did. He told them, he said, in the court, the man said to them, look, I didn't kill this great man because out of hatred. No, I love him. He said, I love this man like anything. But he said, I love India more than. Oh, Chineke, this is a great statement. He said, I love this man and I respect him. I didn't kill him out of personal hatred. No. He said, but I love him. I love India. I love our future more than ever. He said, what I did today, I know my family is devastated. I will die. That is it. I know that I would die before I did it. But if I didn't do it, and this man continues living, Indians will use the sentiments of the love they have for him and misroad, and the next generation will blame them. By that time, Mahatma Gandhi will be no more. I will be no more. Many of us will be no more. But the next generations will suffer the consequence of what this generation used sentiments in order to uphold. Big India. He said, no. This man has been preaching one big India, which is very, very wrong. He has been preaching too much peace. He said, if we continue this peace, we will become slaves to other countries. So that is what I saw. And he gave them example. He said, look, before I kill him, I came out. I did obeisance, whether 3 times, as the Indian culture. He saluted the man 3 times. He revered him as a great man, showing that he did not kill this man out of personal hatred, no, but for the future generations. Because Britain could have used this man maybe to unite India through the sentiment of love they have for him, and disregard their future. You see that? Now who is wise? That is why they say, okay, that his death completely confirmed the independence of Pakistan, separate from India, as 2 countries. And that is when Britain knows that they have failed in their bid to create a very giant zoological republic in Asia. So do you know what happened? Britain now withdrew Lugard, who was from, I think, India or Indian British. He said, you guys have failed. Now go to Africa. I want you to create a giant zoo modeled to what we wanted in India, and I don't want it to fail. The monarchy, British Empire, gave this job to Frederick Lugard, and he came to Nigeria. They brought him to create a country from Royal Niger Company to be a Nigeria by joining people of divergent values together. And the result is what you are seeing today. The result is what you are seeing today. Imagine, let me give you, ask you a rhetorical question. Imagine during the time of Azikiwe. Azikiwe was heavily loved by not only Igbos or Biafrans, by all Nigerians, most Nigerians. I'm telling you. Imagine that an Igbo man, for example, rose up that time near him and shot him into pieces. What do you think that could have happened? Given the reason that, look, Azikiwe, the way you are going, we shouldn't go like that. Let us break away. Let us stay our own, as Ahmad Bello have been advocating. Let them be their own side. Let us be a different country, have our independence separately. People would have been at shock, but today we would have made the grave of the killer, made his grave a temple, a shrine for every one of us, thanking him for what he has done. But that time people wouldn't have understood what happened. People would have been using sentiments. That is how the world is. That is why whatever you are doing, you consider the future, the effect it will have for the future generation. Not only today. I was in a space. I keep on giving this reference. The other day, somebody was saying that Biafra will never come. He said, you people that are shouting Biafra, he have seen that up and down, Biafra will never come. I laugh. I smiled to myself. I said, look, this is how many of our people judge issues. When some of us have this myopic idea, because why he's saying like that? Maybe he has calculated, done his mathematics, and said, nah, here I get them wishing, now make I go a beg. We are not doing what we are doing, that Biafra must come even in our generation. No. If he comes, it's a bonus. We are sowing the seed, for your information. We are sowing the seed to future generations. Are you getting what I'm? Here we say it as it is. It might be that we can get what we want now. It might be that we cannot get it, but in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Are you getting it? When you say it, our people don't want to hear the reality. I have said this several times, our people are mixing up fantasies with reality. They are mixing it up. They are thinking that fantasy is reality. That's why you tell, that's why our people fall victims to these pastors and so-called DBS. They tell you what you want to hear. Now, you see this business, we'll be successful. Don't worry. Hey, anything he tell you, you give. I accept it. If you go that attend that business in here, yawa, even a bygana debt or problem, you start crying because you don't want to be calculative. That is how many of our people function mentally. How they think. They are not sophisticated. They are highly straightforward. Now, these killings, North Central was hit by insecurity as over 100 Nigerians killed. Do you know why these people are killed? Because they are Nigerians. 120 others abducted since August. No fewer than 100 Nigerians have been killed and 120 others abducted between August 10 and October 26, 2025 in a renewed wave of religiously motivated attacks across Nigeria. That is the same Christian genocide. The one Nigerian journalists how they write so that they should not mention Christians as victims, so they become politically correct. In a renewed wave of religiously motivated attacks across Nigeria, an investigative report on Sunday noted that the victims were mostly targets of Fulani jihadist militants and Boko Haram insurgents who jointly carried out monthly deadly assaults, kidnapping, and arson attacks on vulnerable communities. Who are these communities? They are Christians. But they will not mention it because they are afraid. Is Fulani Christians? No. Is Boko Haram Christians? No. They are using Islam in order to carry out the attack to grab lands of indigenous population. That is it. The report by the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, described the killings as unchecked, coordinated, and systematic jihadist onslaught that had continued to spread across the country's 6 geopolitical zones, with the North Central region emerging as the worst hit. In 78 days, at least 100 defenseless Nigerians, including Christians, were targeted and killed. What do you call them? That is targeted killing, because they are Christians. That is the Christian genocide. And 120 others abducted, the report stated. Of these, about 12 are likely not coming back alive from the hands of the jihadist captors. That is the situation we are in Nigeria. And another news headline said, Catholic Church cries out over renewed herdsmen attack in Taraba communities as hundreds are displaced. The same thing. And Daniel Bowala is moving around saying that these things do not exist, that it is being championed by IPOB in order to make Nigerians, defend the killing, the Fulani killing, the genocide against Christians that have been happening. That is why today, as I said, building functioning political system, that is the topic of my little submission. It's going to be very quick. A political system is a set of formal institutions and informal processes that a society uses to make and implement decisions. That is a political system. A set of formal institutions and informal processes that a society uses to make and implement decisions. It defines how a government is structured, how leaders are put in place, and how power is exercised through legal and political institutions. Now, the word government is used to describe the way collective decisions are taken and implemented in a particular community by specially designed or designated people, be they a single individual, a small group, or the entire community. People are governed in the sense that their conduct is directed or influenced by rules, institutions, and sanctions. Listen attentively. Formal institutions include legal and constitutional framework that defines a government structure. It also covers the procedures for electing or selecting officials and political representation through diverse methods. Now, listen. The informal processes are the norms, customs, and behaviors that shape how the government actually functions, even if they are not in the law. Therefore, these informal processes is one of the major fundamentals to a functioning political system or government, which simply is a common ideology or core common values, which is completely lacking in the Nigeria setting. What I'm trying to say here is this: when you come to building a functional political system, the most or the major fundamental or the basis, the taproot, is the informal process. There is formal process, but that formal process comes from the informal process. That informal process, it simply means the common ideology or the core common values, which the people have. That is their customs and tradition. Once you have a major core common value, that is when you have or you can build a functional system or functioning political system. It goes, the fabric is the tradition and culture of the people. It is from the informal processes that will give you the formal processes. I will explain. When we talk about core values, you see, development or functioning government, it has no single formula. I mean, there is no only one system to the best result. No, because different races, different nations in this planet Earth, they have different customs and traditions. All those customs and traditions could be developed in their own way in order to attain the same result of national advancement. Are you getting what I'm saying? For example, if you go to Japan today, they are highly traditional, but they are developed. They are highly traditional, but they are developed. They respect the elders. They respect old age. It's their tradition. You see a Japanese, you bow. In a bus, or in a train, you cannot see Japanese talking, making noise. It is their tradition. They salute, they bow. They see their elders, they salute. It is not the same in Europe. In Europe, nobody cares who you are. You can live with people in the same block. Every time you pass, you enter the same lifter. Nobody talks to nobody. Whether you are old or young, the young don't talk to the old don't talk to the young. Everybody is mu. Day in, day out, year in, year out. So you see that when an European goes to a place like Japan, he will see things as absurd, different. But is Japan developed? The answer is yes. China, the same thing, they have their tradition. Is China developed? The answer is yes. They don't have the legislative, executive, this and that, like the Europeans in government. But they have their organized system. One party system, but it is democratic because they elect their officers right from even kindred down to national. So they modelize their system using their core value. You know, what matters is the end result. And what is that end result? Advancement, progress. That is the thing. That is why, like in Igbo adage, you say, you know, Igbo adage covers everything, but we fail to understand it or read meaning or interpret it very well. It means a lot. It means that any person that comes to you and tell you that they have their own religion is the only way. No, that they are colonizers and nothing more. It is the only way to see God. It is the true way. It is true way to you, not to the other person, not to the other people. That is imposition of tradition. So what am I trying to say? When you come to the, to building a functional political system, what matters is using the people's informal system, that is traditions and culture, because that is the only thing that gathers them together. And that is why we always preach here about going back to our roots, because that is the only way that can gather us together, that binds us together as one people. It is the only thing that binds us together as one people. Our traditions, our cultures. That is the only thing. When you look at imposed religion, you see that it divided us into pieces. It made us to disregard our brothers and sisters. It made us to be separated. So, when you talk about building a functional political system, what is worrying Nigeria today, why Nigeria is not progressing, is because of divergent values being joined together, being forcefully joined together. And that is what India avoided. That is why they had independence as two countries instead of one. And even from that two countries, other countries later emerged, like Bangladesh, I think Burma, and is it Sri Lanka, And that is how it should be. Because if there is any mistake of forceful amalgamation, which Nigeria is suffering, it will be a mess, a messy long haul, which Nigeria is enduring today. Nigeria is enduring it today. A messy long haul, messy one, quagmirish long haul. Because functional political system should be built basically on the rocky base or foundation of core value, common core value. There's something, when we were on space yesterday, Mazi, he said something, a very striking point. Very, very striking. I remarked that, striking point. He said something. He said, when you meet those Igbo Biafrans that are Nigerianists, and they are against what we are doing, they are against Biafra restoration, and they always also tell you that they want to focus in Biafra region. Everything they say, no, let us focus. Don't mind what is happening in the north. Do not allow what is happening in the north to come to our side. Now you ask them, is it not hypocritical You are a Nigerianist. Your country is Nigeria. Why then are you demarcating? Why then are you not talking about what is happening in Zamfara? Because it's your country. Why then do you want to focus on now? We say let us officialize this by taking care of being self-determinating ourselves, by governing ourselves. The same thing. Focus on our region officially so that we can develop our region by ourselves. And you say Nigeria, but they tell you, okay, if you are talking about Nigeria, why not? When you talk about what is happening, how the people are being massacred in Burundi, you say no, it doesn't concern us, which means you're a hypocrite. You are simply a hypocrite, because in your country you should be concerned everywhere. We are clamoring for our Biafra region to demarcate, to remove themselves, to remove ourselves from the Nigeria, because there is nothing we can do to help the other side. Instead, they want to impose their system, their custom of killing, their custom of radicalism, religious radicalism, their custom of land grabbing, which is not our traditional and custom. And the only way to do it is to separate ourselves from them. And you say no, we must be in one country. Okay, if you say we must be in one country, anything they do, it must affect us, because they are coming. It's one country, so they have the right to influence to do anything they are doing in Zamfara. They have to do it in our land, because we are in one country. Nothing prevents them. Do you see how these people, they fall when it comes to logic? You see that? So what am I trying to say? This informal process is one of the major fundamentals to a functioning political system or government, which simply is a common ideology or common value, called common values, which is completely lacking in the Nigeria setting. Do you know the new world called America? Let me tell you something. America, these are Europeans mostly that went to America and settled there and killed tens, if not hundreds of millions of the indigenous people. They exterminated them. Only few living. They exterminated many tribes, almost all the tribes, mostly in the Northern America, Canada and America and the USA, and took over. Now, these are visitors, these are colonizers, and they came from different nations in Europe. Before they engaged in fighting for their own freedom as a colony, they have stayed there, coming from England, coming from Netherlands, coming from France. They have stayed there as colonies. Their children, their born children, their children have born generations. Now they say no, this now is our land. We no longer have connection with Europe, so we shouldn't be under them. Now the question now arose: under what auspices, under what core value will they use to fight for their freedom? Listen, if they start just like that, there will be anarchy, because the English will be trying to take a majority. They were trying to take lead to impose their own system on others. Remember, they were colonies that came from different parts of Europe. Yes, they are Europeans, but they have different tribes. They came from different tribes, because English is a tribe, French is a tribe. It's just like Africa. Yes, all Africans, but from different tribes. Therefore, the traditions and cultures of all these tribes are not the same. So, what did they do in America? The first 13 colonies, what did they do? They have to gather themselves and say, look, we have to, because it's unjust for the British monarchy to be imposing on us taxes, ruling us from far across the Atlantic. They don't know what we are suffering here. We work hard, we pay them tax. So we need to fight in order to take and build a country, a common country. No more different colonies. They gather together, say we have to be a one country. But there is a problem. What is the problem? Under which tradition? Is it the tradition of the Dutch among them? No. Is it, would they allow French people to take over and manipulate others using their culture? They say no. Their cultures are not the same. Now, they have to find a common ground. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because enlightened fellows were in their midst. People like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, they were there. They said, okay, we are going to detach ourselves from the mother Europe, from the traditions and culture, because we are no longer them. We are generations apart. We are living here. We are born here. Are you getting it? So we have to have an agreed core value. As of that time in Europe, they were on feudal. Many of the countries were feudalistic system. That is landlord and squatters system. Many of the countries are also monarchies in Europe. They say now we need to relinquish this monarchy system, feudal system, and form our own core value, where it will be called the American value, that will be different from where we come from, or where we came from America, so that everybody will be carried along. So that a Portuguese American will not say, no, you people are practicing English system, we will not be among. No, they have to agree on a core value, common core value. What is that? They say now we have to agree that all human beings are born equal, that everybody have the right to existence if given the fair opportunity. So every human being in America will be given, there is no major, no minor, no superior, no inferior. But do you know one thing that baffles me also? Listen, because I saw on somebody, a black American, saying this, and I thought about, I say, yes, this guy have a, he have a reason. He was campaigning that the 18th century constitution, or they are calling America that it has core value of human rights, this and that. He said most of these people that made these laws, they have human beings as slaves. They can kill at will. But they were professing that all humans are equal. What is then the need? Which means they still believe that black people, we are not equal. Do you see that? I said, this guy's made a lot of sense. I'm telling you. So let me continue what I'm saying. They gathered the American colonies, the first 13 American colonies that started the war of independence. They said, if we say let us do it as our tribes, because some of them are French, some are Dutch, some are Belgian, some are Portuguese, some are Spanish, some are this, different parts of Europe. So their cultures are different. They have to concoct a universally agreed culture that is their core value. Because in order to build a functioning political system, you must have a backbone of culture as core value that guides you, that brings everybody together. Without it, nothing works, nothing will work. There will be friction, there will be fighting, there will be killings because of lack of coherency in traditions and culture. You see why we always preach going back to our roots? Because we have seen that is the only thing we are. That is the only thing that can guide us together, that can keep us together. Because the imposed religion on us it makes us separate from each other. It makes us see our brothers as demons, as long as it's not going the same worship center with you. But we are born in the same place. We grew up inside the same culture and tradition. So that should be taken as the core value. I am talking about America because they have to organize themselves in order to avoid the future problem. Otherwise, had it been they started fighting for independence without organizing themselves to adopt a core value, a common culture that guides them, irrespective of your background, that you are Portuguese, or that your parents came from Netherlands, that you are from Belgium, that you are from Switzerland, that you are from Iceland, from Sweden. No, our core value is everybody is born equal. That is our basic core value. So you see your brother as a human being, as your brother. You see a Portuguese, we see an English as his brother, because all of us are equal. Equality, it becomes their adopted custom. And that is when they gather and say, okay, say yes, amen, we agree, oh yeah, we have to fight. If we get this our nation, this is our core value. That is something that have to bind them together. It becomes their tradition, because they are strangers that came there. Had it been that they were indigenous people, they have their core values together already. Are you seeing it now? So, we being in Nigeria, the problem of Nigeria is lack of fundamental core value. People are different customs and traditions forcefully joined together without any coherency. So people behave as they want according to their tradition. You know, as I said at the early, that a political system is a set of formal institutions and informal processes that a society uses to make and implement decisions. It defines how government is structured, how leaders are put in place, and how power is exercised through legal and political institutions. Okay. Let me also read again. The informal processes are the norms, customs, and behaviors that shape how the government actually functions, even if they are not in the law. Now, I will also expand a bit, giving you example of what is obtainable in Nigeria. Do you remember the killing, the brutal murder of Deborah Samuel? Do you remember that? Is there any place in the Nigerian law or code that somebody like that should be killed and murdered? In blasphemy, you should be immediately killed. Even in the Sharia code, the person should not be killed. Are you telling me? Are you hearing me? but through due process, the person will be sent to the Sharia court. And witnesses will come and witness that, look, this person blasphemed against Prophet Muhammad. That is Sharia. Listen, it's not, they are not defending blasphemy against Allah, for your information, but they always defend blasphemy against Prophet Muhammad. Are you getting it now? Now, but why did they kill this girl? Because it is their culture that is, no matter that it is unwritten, it is not written down. So once somebody did that thing they thought against that their culture, automatically they have to react. It must not be inside the law. That is why they stoned and burned that child, that girl, to death. She's a Christian. She was a Christian. And you know what? All the northern clerics supported the killing because it is their culture. You see that now? They supported the killing automatically. For you that is not among them, it is repulsive, but it is their system, it is their culture. Atiku Abubakar tried to play politics by openly tweeting, condemning what happened to Deborah Samuel, that it shouldn't be like that. They threatened Atiku Abubakar that if he did not bring down that tweet, that no Northerner, they will give ultimatum that no Northern Muslim should vote for him anyway. And immediately, under few minutes, he brought down the tweet. So do you see? He cannot go against their custom. It is we that are outsiders that are seeing it as repulsive, but for them it is normal. And today, the people that we are arrested, that we are boasting on social media that we are arrested, they have been released since. Even they were given money that they did the right thing. If you see core value, it makes you react automatically because it is your culture. You cannot hide from it. You see core value, it makes you react automatically because it is your culture. You cannot hide from it. Boasting on social media that we are arrested, they have been released since. But opposing, do you know what is opposing? No, you don't know. Something that is opposing. You know, I see your culture as anti-me, and you see my own as anti-you. That is opposing. So we always be on perpetual conflict. That is what Britain have done. And in this case, there will never be a functional or functioning political system. It will always remain a mirage. Forget how that is why you don't have electricity now. Because it is no matter, each culture is fighting against the other culture. It's automatic. That is why in the case of America, the founding fathers of America, they were wise. They were wise people. They were Illuminatis, for your information. You know, I've explained this thing about Illuminati, which they condemn. These are people that are wise. Wise people that understand some secrets that you don't know, ordinary people don't know. Secrets of manipulations, secrets of control in this world. These are Illuminatis. Yes. Stop condemning what you don't know, please. These are people that forged standards set for whole millions, if not billions of people to follow. Do you think that they should be, ridiculed? No, Sanom. Instead, try to enter inside and understand what they know. Are you getting what I'm saying? Stop ridiculing or demonizing, them. No. stop that. These are Illuminatis, people that are illuminated. Their internal consciousness have been illuminated. They are not operating at your low level frequency. No. They will be able to teach you something, organize the people so that in the country will progress. For many years there will be progress. So why do you demonize them? Because of religion. They are the people that organized America, for your information. Otherwise America could have been a katakata chaos, because there are different nations that formed America, but they were able to gather them together and say, look, we are now going to fight. We are all suffering the same thing, but let us fight in order to liberate ourselves. And we are not going to liberate ourselves in our differences. We have to have a core value that will be our foundational value, so that you forget your Dutchness, you forget your Portuguesity, you forget your Anglicism, you forget your being French. Now we hold our core values as Americans, and they say yes, and that is how they started till today. You see that? And you demonize this type of people. It is better you dive in, try to understand, try to know what they know, so that you can reach where they reach, instead of demonizing them. One thing with Africa is, whatever they don't know, what they see that it is above them, they don't want to even think. They demonize it immediately. That is why Africans are there. You see Europeans coming to climb the highest mountains in Africa, but the indigenous people were there. They fear to go there. Volcanic mountains, they don't go there. They say, it is one deity living there. Instead, they will be doing sacrifice, killing chickens and goats at the base of the mountain. Say, the deity, they call it one name. Maybe Mountain Cameroon, they call it one name. Or Mountain Kilimanjaro, they call it one name. That the deity there, he want to eat anytime he vex, he will vomit. So no person will venture to go to find out what is there. They fear. That is what limited Africans. But a European will come, even going down the valley, dreaded valleys, which the indigenous people will not try to go. They say, there are spirits living there. A European will come and go say, you want to go down there? They will all climb that mountain. They will tell him, no, it is forbidden. No, we cannot go there because so goddess is living there. I said, don't worry, if I go, if you chop me, no problem. And he will climb there and start picking, find out that place contains diamonds, and he will pick it and come down and deceive the indigenous people, say, hey, that your goddess wanted to kill me, but I negotiated with him. He will go back and tell his brothers, and they will come and start mining gold, picking gold and diamond from the mountain. The indigenous people will be there. Because of this kind of mentality of demonizing something you should strive to be part of. Oh, they are Illuminati. Oh, do you think it is easy to control a population? You control population with superiority. You arrange the people with things they don't know. You have superior knowledge for them. That is it. So you are illuminated. That is why they follow you. They say, okay, this kind of person, whatever I say is good, and people will follow you. That is, you are illuminated. Now you use your knowledge in order to control, make rules and regulations that will bind everybody, and that is how things move. So what am I trying to say? Nigeria is a quagmire today, and Britain is enjoying it because they created Nigeria to be like this, and Nigerians did not react the way they should. The only person that reacted most vehemently, he got everything. That is Ahmad Bello during the flag independence. You know, I praise him. It doesn't matter his animosity against Igbos. It doesn't matter his ethnic bigotry. I don't care. But he did what he's supposed to do. He reacted. He said, no, I cannot be with, we cannot be with these people. We don't know them. We don't know the Southerners. Our tradition and their tradition are not the same. So, Britain, why will you put us together? For what? We don't know them. The food we eat is different. We eat too. I don't know what they are eating. They call it egusi, or I don't know. I never eat it before. We are Islamic. They don't even know what is Islam. Our space is Sahel and the desert. They have a very big bush with rain every time. We don't even like it. So why will you put us together? They told Britain, we are not going to go with these people in one country, as one country. Britain started begging. Britain understood that, look, they have a people that they can use. And they started negotiating with Ahmad Bello as he raised up his head. Others, Azikiwe was there, docile, thinking that he will outmaneuver. You see, he didn't have foresight. He never had any. And they started negotiating with Ahmad Bello as he raised up his head. Others, Azikiwe was there, docile, thinking that he will outmaneuver. You see, he didn't have foresight. He never had any. Docile, thinking that he will outmaneuver. You see, he didn't have foresight. He never had any common value system. No this and no peace. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have started saying this right from beginning. You see, I gave you example of Japan. China today is developed, but they don't have the same value with Europeans. Different other South Korea, even United Arab Emirates, they are Muslims as their core value, but they are developed. The end product, the end result should be development and advancement. It doesn't matter what system you got. You know, gone are the days when everybody, the West have been making propaganda right during the Cold War that capitalism is the only way to attain greatness. But today it is lie. We have seen that it's lie. That is why they pushed African countries into fighting with their shadows. Because what you are hearing as arguments in African radios and spaces today is democracy. And the Europeans are promoting it, that argument, which is the wrong side of the argument. I've been saying it. You see, democracy is a disease to Africa. This European imposed democracy. They never allow us to develop through our natural core value. Instead, they infuse democracy. Is it not what they are doing in Nigeria? Where is the democracy? Is it not what they are doing in Nigeria? How did Chinedu come into government? Come into power. He said, "Na my turn, Emiloku, na my turn." When results were being announced on Chinese television, on Nigerian media, you see how they are counted. They will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 5,000. People are watching it. And that is democracy they brought, isn't it? Isn't it? They give us the whole equipments of failure. they took our originality, our core values, and gave us the whole apparatus to fail, and we are hanging on it. They demonize our cultures, and today any Nigerian president will swear in will be sworn in with either Bible or Quran. That is number one. Governor, senator, Bible or Quran. They know that all these things are fake. So, they put it's fake to us because it is not original to us. But they make sure that it is what we use to swear in our public servants. People that should be sworn in using Amadioha, using our shrine that is working. The long juju. So you want to be our governor? Come to remove your come. If you touch any kobo belonging to the public without representing us cordially, that Amadioha will kill you, not only you, your children and your generation. Swear. These are things that work, what we know. But they removed it, they demonized everything, and now they gave us the whole equipments of failure. I call it equipments of failure. And we grab them, and we are moving towards abyss, failing. That is why, a functional political system, it must be original. Japan knew it, and that is why the original, they are progressing. Saudi Arabia knew it. They grab their own, they are progressing. Look at the countries that are in turmoil, religious turmoil, mostly Islam. They are not Arab countries. Many of them are not Arab countries because it's not original. Once you are poisoned with artificial, you have been given equipments of failure. You will be fighting with yourself forever until you realize that, look, this thing that I'm holding is fake. Let us go back to our originality. And that is when we will be able to build a functioning political system. And that is why, in this restoration effort, it is being accompanied with the normal, usual teaching, educational awareness that is required for our mental emancipation, for your information. That is it. Therefore, functional political system building or systems are building depending on the norms, customs, and behaviors of the people. Let me play you this clip, which I played day before yesterday, and I've played other days. This our brother that is living in Abuja with his shop and got a Sharia notification. Sharia auctioned his shop because his tenant owed them, I don't know, have a deal, he owed them tax or he owed them, I don't know. So Sharia said, okay, come and auction the building. He was shouting because it is not his custom, and this is a place we're supposed to be as a country. How do you think that this will work? Do you know that had it been, for example, this happened in Saudi Arabia, he is living in Saudi Arabia, before even he can buy a shop, they will tell him that look at our rules and regulations. Can you abide by it? We will go by Sharia. Let me just put it like that. If your tenant owes something and we can auction your this thing or this your shop, if you can abide, they say, if you can abide, now we continue, because it is not his country. But lo and behold, he's in his own country, the capital city of his country. But because of the opposing values, he don't even understand what is happening. Listen again.
Some people, I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor come. Say they are for Sharia court of Akabi Gudu, that they are cheap litigation and Chinedu as I auction my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this church in 2012 for our rent. Their phone shop in number.
He told them when Sharia court came, told him that they want to auction it. He said, I don't know, I don't have any case with you. is the same country. Do you see opposing norms, opposing customs and traditions that you are suffering in Nigeria? It's anarchy. You are in the same country, you are in a country you call your own, but there are forces, there are laws that are different. As a Christian, as an Igbo man, you don't know. That is why we want to separate from this anarchy. It is complete anarchy. Let them stay with their Sharia. Let them continue. But we have our system, which comes from our core value. But some people are yapping. Sometimes I say I want people to make sense out of the whole nonsense that is going on, please. To make sense to me out of the whole nonsense. How can you be in your so-called country? You don't even know which one is left and right. Which tradition are you going to take? In a capital city that everybody should be protected under one national law. But lo and behold, another law, Sharia law, is being used. And you're telling us that we should be together? Is that what you're telling me? That we should continue being in this anarchy? Continue listening.
I read one to somebody. They said that person in the shop is showing them credit. I told the person owner, why don't you provide his goods? That the goods in that shop, they don't care about the goods. They say what they know is they want to take that shop. I tell the person should come to the court and tell the people I'm the owner of the shop. I go there, even though I'm a Christian. I tell them I watch.
He told them that he don't know anything about Sharia. But their Sharia told them that, according to the Sharia code, that the properties of infidel is their own. Are you getting it? The properties of infidel, he is an infidel to them, so they can do to him as they want, use his property as they want. That is under Sharia code. And you want us to be together in this type of place. I say, if the light open, please, can somebody make a sense out of the whole nonsense, please? Because it doesn't make sense to me. This is the basis, or one of the basis of our agitation. If it is another country, for example, you go to Somalia, you tell them you're a Christian, or they say, they can tell you before you can have property or build, they can sell to you land, you must convert to Islam. Now you know that it is, you have option, it is in a different country. If you want, you do. If you don't want, you say no and you go your way. It's not your country. But the most painful thing is, it is in your country and you are suffering this. And people think that we should continue enduring this forever. Do you know what baffles me with some Igbo people? They say, no, don't make noise. Why is IPOB agitated? No. We remain quiet. Even government infrastructure. No government infrastructure in our land, but we are doing it by ourselves. Let us continue like that. Don't make noise. Why until, we continue suffering. This is how we are meant to be. I said, no, it's not how we are meant to be. We shouldn't continue being slaves. We shouldn't continue in Nigeria. They rob Peter to pay Paul. We contribute money in our land to build schools, to build hospitals, to build our infrastructure. So even after giving it to the government, whereas in the north, the slightest in every 5 houses is a different local government, and they build everything for them using Nigeria federal resources, money. Some they pay the social welfare, and you want us to continue like that? Let us continue so that peace will reign. This is the peace of a slave. I used to call it. This is the peace a slave enjoys. But remember, he is still a slave. Anytime the master, maybe the master is drunk in one day, or if the master quarrel with the wife, and he came out and saw a slave and just take a knife and stab the slave to pieces, because it is his property. Nothing will happen. In order to vent his anger, the same way you'll be angry and maybe even smash your telephone. The master can be angry with his son or daughter and come out and carry a slave and take his pistol and shoot the slave vent his anger on the slave because he's a slave. Is that the peace we want to continue remaining? The peace of a slave? No. IPOB said no. We shouldn't continue like that, please. I'm talking about building a functioning political system. Building a functioning political system. That is what I'm talking about. And it is impossible in Nigeria. Because it needs the core values. And Nigeria have different and opposing core values. This man is shouting because he didn't understand what happened in his own country. And that is what you want us to continue? No.
Sharia court. They say I must stop if I'm the owner, then they will leave me in my shop and take all the documents to them. Even when I reach here, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I also the shop, that they are doing handover because I'm a teacher, because I'm Igbo, they collect my shop. Sharia.
They have sold the shop. They just come to inform him, you are an infidel in your own country, you are nothing. You are a slave. People will not see this. Our people that are talking, yapping against IPOB, they will not see this. They say, no. Anyway, let the man go and pray. People, you know, when you talk about issues, some people say, okay, don't you see, we need to continue trying, praying, and having patience. Don't do anything. God, one day God will bring somebody. You know, they used to use this Alex Oti to give example. I laugh. Don't you see that Alex Oti, don't you see what is he doing in Abia? I say yes, he's doing very well. Then how do you call it? Is he not a human being? It's like that. We are going to wait. Someday we vote somebody, he do like this. I laugh. I say okay. You finish? He say yes, it's okay. Sit down. Alex Oti, how many years does he have in office? Just let's give him 8 years. For 4 years. Isn't he? Say yes. After building everything, do you know the next person that is coming? What if the next person coming after him neglects and destroys all he has built? Now you start praying against that. You have to say, okay, God, help us bring another person. Let me tell you, our people are basing the building of political, functioning political system based on individual sentiment or individual pity. No, Sanoma. IPOB, we are trying to, build a nation where institutions work, where institutions function, not based on one person that will come once in a while, to do something for us, and he's doing it out of his own goodwill. We are not based on goodwill. We want a country where institutions will force people to do the right thing. Are you getting what I'm saying? Not where an individual will come out of pity. Oh, he's a good person. He will now start building and the whole praises will be going to him. No. That is not what we want. After him, the next person that will come will neglect everything, will destroy everything this one have built. And, cry will continue. There will be cries, no continuation, and no questions. After all, when he was in power, somebody as a citizen, an Abia State citizen, asked him, I think in a town hall meeting or, a conversation, asked him, Oga, you are Mr. Governor. What about, you have been building this flyover for so long, you left it moribund, no building, no completion. What is happening? As a governor, the people's servant, people elected him to go and manage the money that is coming to Abia State, to use it judiciously in order to advance the cause of Abia State. But this man answered this person, this citizen, this is his master. People don't know that that person asking him the question is the master of Okwezi Ikpeazu, because he's a citizen. Okay, so Ikpeazu answered. He said he made the mockery of him. He said, "You that is asking, why are you asking me? Is it not me that decided to start building the flyover? I went to China, brought people, brought engineers to come and build it at my own time, my own decision as a governor. If I leave it there till 100 years without completion, what is your problem? What is your concern? Yourself that is asking, do you have a car? What is your concern with a flyover? You don't have a car. And people were laughing. I beg you, sit down yourself. They ask useless question. The problem, that is why I used to say the problem with our people is not the politicians, it's the population. The mentality is the problem. And they mocked that citizen, and he sat down as a guilty person. He sat down with shame. Let me tell you something. If it is in a place like Spain, and a public servant answers a citizen like that in that town hall meeting or conference room, that man, he will be mobbed. Maybe he will be even murdered there by the people. Fire everywhere in the whole country, because the people understand. But in this case, the man was humiliated and he sat down quietly, and people laughed at him. Now, our people used to base on let us wait, maybe somebody of goodwill will come. That is the worst part, the worst mentality, the worst, sometimes I continue researching and I say, why did the Europeans call the Bight of Biafra slave coast? Why? And it is in the mentality, honestly. It is the mentality they saw, slave mentality. I am telling you honestly. What I'm saying is liable to contest. In case if the line opens, please, you can call me and debate and say, no, Mazi, I don't agree. I love it. But with the way things are going in the psyche of our people, I become afraid. I say, no. To the viable country, no. It's not easy. For now, work needs to be done more and more and more in the heads of our people. Our people count on individual goodwill. One good person, God will raise him up. That is why our people praise individual more than anything. Our people will praise, hey, this man. I see Felix is using his money. Now, when you are the people there, what if he didn't do it? What will you do? It's true, you can't do nothing, because the mentality of our people is moribund. That is why people can't do nothing. After all, this one, is it not Jara is giving you? So what IPOB is fighting for is to restore a country, a viable and functioning political system that will not rely on individuals' goodwill in order to do something, to do his work for the people. No, we want to restore a nation where the system will checkmate everybody. We compel you to do the right thing. Don't you see Sarkozy in jail today? Don't you see him? Sarkozy, the president, the former president of France, in jail for how many years? I think sentence, how many years? Is it 2 years or 3 years? Or more, I don't know, I've forgotten. The other day, news media show his cell. A former president, France president that have access to nuclear power that time, the time he was on power. But today he's in jail. Don't you see that? That is a system that works. That is a system that checkmates the excesses of individuals. Not a system where the whole population will be depending on somebody's individual goodwill to do the right thing. Now there is nothing we can do now. Slaves, the talks of slaves, there is nothing we can do now. Is it not Peter Mba building everything? He is the right man now. Wow, after him na God. Our people will blow individuals out of proportion. because they don't understand it. They don't understand about, a building functioning political system that checkmates everybody, that forces you in order to do the right thing. That, a functioning political system don't know you as an individual. They don't know you, who you are. You must do the right thing. But in Nigeria it is not so. That is why Nigerian senators are collecting upwards of more than 30 million naira a month, every month, for their salaries and other remunerations. Whereas Nigerian teachers are being paid a fraction of 30 million naira, 100,000 naira. That is less than $100 for every month, and they are being owed months of salary. Teachers, $60 or $70 a month, and they are mocking stocks. Teachers that train the presidents, teachers that train billionaires, train businessmen and women, teachers that train doctors, teachers that train scientists. They are mocked in Nigeria, only in Nigeria. They are not respected. Who do they respect? Senators that loot money. How do you think that system, that country can function? Tell me how, where the population are so backwards in thinking. Tell me how that kind of place can work, where if they see where things that are moving on, where things that are in, they say, this is Illuminati. They demonize Illuminati. People that are illuminated, that can come and draw things and draw plans that a nation should use to move forward. They demonize it. Tell me how that place can work. No, tell me. They say it is demonic. It is satanic. I'm telling you, people demand for self-determination because they want to be governed according to their customs and traditions and not on imposed alien values. That is why this man is crying, because what he's seeing is imposed on him. He didn't understand in his own country. He never understand it.
Even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia code? Don't help me, Nigeria, help me,
He is calling God to help him, because there is no law to help him. There is no functioning system, because everything is chaos. Everything is anarchy. There are opposing systems that are functioning in Nigeria, and that is why there is anarchy everywhere. That is why there is anarchy everywhere. Are you getting what I'm saying? The police don't obey order. The army, they don't care. Any person is behaving as he wants, because there is no functioning political system. Nigeria is set up for eternal friction by the British, so that as I'm talking to you now, Britain is loading crude oil. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of super tankers in the waters in Biafra land, waiting, loading and going, moving. Every minute they are loading. As I'm talking, they are loading everywhere, and they are enriching their country, making it for you to see going to London, going to England, the United Kingdom as a miracle. That is how low they have brought us. It is for us to reshuffle ourselves, to do the same thing like India, because that is why India proved to be the same human beings as the Europeans. That is what building a viable or a functioning political system means. This is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break, so that when I come back, I will open the line so that people can call in. Please do not go away. I'll be right back.
I finish you, my life finish you, my life finish you. I do that not enough.
So sad. You know, some legal experts have argued that this represents a clear overreach of Sharia court jurisdiction, as the property owner is a Christian and the matter involves a commercial tenancy dispute rather than Islamic personal law. The 1999 Constitution explicitly restricts Sharia courts to matters of Islamic personal law where all parties are Muslim and have consented to the court's jurisdiction. We're yet to receive an official response from judicial authorities on this matter. Ayo.
So this is a note of warning. This incident is a red flag. I say this because, Oji, you have already explained the constitutional provision for Sharia Appellate Court in Abuja. I'm sure a number of people did not even know that Sharia Court Appellate Court operates in the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, that is supposed to be a mixed hub of people from different from different states, different ethnicities, different religious persuasions to live together in the Federal Capital Territory. To now see, as you already mentioned, the overreach of the Sharia court. The first instance is that I believe that it's high time for us as a nation to revisit this Sharia court provision. Because if we're saying that Nigeria is a secular state as stipulated in the Constitution, why do we have a court that is Islamic in its foundation, in the way it dispenses justice? And then when you talk about judicial or jurisdiction overreach, we see that it's a personal matter. So Sharia court, appellate court, is meant to deal with issues around marriage and family, estate and succession, capacity, mutual consent. So matters, civil matters like that. And like you said, emphasis on all parties must be Muslim. When they begin to now interfere in matters that have to do with Christians and Muslim, then we have a problem. But that's what happens in life. Once you give an inch, you will take a mile. And that's why I'm saying that we need to revisit this. As long as the Christians cannot ask for their own special court for Christians alone, we are raising a state of anarchy and is a judicial system where the lines are blurred and justice is interpreted based on religious sentiment. In saying this, I now turning up all the other stories around, Nigeria, CPC, whether or not there's Christian genocide, this attack against Christians is this. I want to appeal to this administration. Recall that when the president, for the first time in a very long time, decided to go with a Muslim ticket, these were some of the concerns that were raised.
Yes.
The optics don't look good. You might not say, oh, there's no relation, but the truth is that people raise concerns around this, and if this is exacerbated under this administration, then it speaks very bad about how they've been able to manage Christian-Muslim relationships under this administration.
All right. I mean, we're yet to hear from the...
any more changes on name changes on street bus and street name changes? Any progress on that? Any more of those happening?
Actually, we have left the era of changing names. Now we are bringing down structures. Over 19 gigantic structures were brought down in Alaba market, and there are video evidence. You see them lamenting, "Oh my God, we have been here for over 20 years, this and that and this." But we just said to them, we just want to know who owns Lagos.
It's not Alaba, it is the trade fair. And the patrons are Joe Ibokwe, the prominent Igbo people, Peter Obi, Ifan Yuba, the late Ifan Yuba, the Igbos that are the patrons of this particular places.
The owners of
demolished yesterday. Also in Jakonde, do we even need to say all these things? Because we need more.
Yes.
More is coming.
Sasa,
more is coming. More is coming.
I need to understand.
The documents, apart from being illegal, the documents they have. You were not on Dangerous. Like when we played the song, Ubon the Maga. Maga is like somebody we have already, we have played. Somebody put it in the comment section. Somebody we don't see. Client. Somebody is putting in that Maga. What we call Maga is like a client. Igbos are our client. They are giving us the money. Again, is not your Maga.
So not let the trying to not let the victim understand that he's going to be a victim. So you don't use a word like if
no. Anybody who call MAGA is like a client. Mugu. Oh, Mugu. They are giving you the meaning.
Mugu is the victim, is the client that eventually fall victim.
MAGA
Isn't Mugu? Okay, what's
like okay. Don't let me explain too much.
So basically a naive person.
Somebody who doesn't know anything, like
when you have somebody
gullible.
Yeah, gullible, MAGA, you get it.
Yes, yeah. When you have somebody that is still in the process, you call him MAGA. So MAGA is still a client. When he has already fallen a victim, it becomes Mugun. So as a MAGA,
okay.
As a MAGA, I'm still trying to trade my land. Like, I have 20 acres of land. So I'll be telling Zaza, Farabale, Kuda, this is my MAGA. So Zaza will now relax. Dr. Yao will relax. As soon as I finish selling the land to you, instead of you going to Dr. Yao to now get proper documentation, Dr. Yao already understood the fact that you are a victim. So when you come into Dr.
Right.
He will tell you, oh, don't worry, this land is for industrial purposes, not for residential. But you can still have your house there. You will go ahead. At the end
so
of the day,
they played you basically.
That is it. So when you fall victim, you become Mugun. So now what I'm trying to tell you is that Igbo will forever remain our MAGA. The law.
Island, do you have your speaker with you? I want you to search a song on YouTube. It says MAGA, don't pay, shout hallelujah. Just search the music. I want you to play the music, please.
Blood of Jesus. Only for that.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Malu province of Biafra London. We are here live and direct. Today is the 27th day of October 2025. And our lines are now opened. Please, you can call us now. Our WhatsApp and Signal line remains +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 05 142 547.
May the God of our ancestors always be with him, both day and night. Fight against whoever that may be waking up to fight him. That is my prayers every day. You see, everybody, every news agency in Nigeria have started talking about Mazi now. We still thank God for that. Order. Mazi Jonathan, the only thing I will tell you this night is you have been lecturing us every day. Let me say 2 or 3 times in a week. The same what you told us before you repeat it. As if you are teaching there's a children of even a child of 2 years can even understand quicker than we up once. Can I talk about our politicians? They claim to be educated. They went to this level. They acquire professor, acquire this, acquire that. But for them to understand the simple meaning of freedom, the difference between freedom and the slave. I don't know whether me, as I didn't even go up to secondary school, I might want to tell them the difference between freedom and the slave. But anyway, we can't do more than that. We will be going. If you call yourself IPOB family member, as you are hearing my voice this night, I'm pleading for you. Continue from where we stopped today. Look back. Don't listen to side talks. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. Know that we have where we are heading to. We have our focus. Remember what our leader, Mazi Jonathan, Mazi I. Peters, and the co, they are teaching us. Listen to them and make use of their words. Mazi Jonathan,
Caller on signal, please go on. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Are you there? Caller on signal, please go on. Can you hear me?
I hope I'm coming out, sir.
Yes, you are. Go on.
All right. My name is Mazi, fine. Calling from his location. My God bless our leader, Mazi Nandukukano. Mazi, to tell you the fact, you say the analysis that you give to us during the India struggle, or what makes India to become a great nation today. You see, I learned a lot of things in this analysis that you explained, and that is why, to say that during the time this called Zeke and the other zoo animal was trying to get independent from Britain. All of them know that what they are get from Britain is not independent. All of them know. But due to they are doing it fishing stress, they are not doing it for the benefit of the mass. It's for their own fishing interest. That is why everything is going. Everything is just dancing. Now this man, Mogambo, is it what you call him? The man saw that by allowing his opponent to leave and they start doing, dancing the tune of Western leaders or Western colonial masters. Them being India can never be great today. And he now took it upon himself in order that yes, he is committing crime. And that crime that he is committing is not committing crime due to maybe envy or jealousy. He was committing that crime for the future of his people. Because he knew that if he allowed that man to live, they can never see the light of the day. It's like what is happening to Cameroon today. All these things, all these people that you saw, they are colonial slavery, servants. And that is why Africans leaders are puppets to these masters. And whenever you are trying to rise, to tell them or to let them know that yes, you are a human being, they will now find a way to eliminate you, like something that happened to Libya. That's how they eliminated Gaddafi, because Gaddafi know quite all right that Western leaders, they are not thinking for the Africans. They only allow you whenever you try to, maybe whenever you are allow you to live. But whenever you are trying to oppose their wish for the benefit of your people, not for your own selfish interest, these Western leaders, and that is what is happening. But I thank God that this our generation, we have seen all of them, and we are now going to take the destiny of Africans by the African people. Mazi, you must continue this teaching so that our people will wake up. Even Africans also will wake up, because this teaching is not only for we IPOB or for we Biafrans. This your teaching have been all African countries have been receiving this teaching, and that is why they are now waking up, because Western masters think good for Africans. May God bless you. We must continue not going back until we get our freedom. There were Mazi.
We must continue. You know, I used to say this IPOB for people that, although not understand, IPOB is an ideologically based movement. We concentrate mostly on the psyche of our people to try to change the mentality. That is the first job, and it's the most tedious job. Changing the mentality, changing how people reason. That's why, as I said, when somebody said on X that I was in, that he have checked it and he know that Biafra will never come, so no need of wasting time or making futile efforts. I laugh. You know, our people, or some of our people, they have this mercantile mentality. They want to get quick results. Now. What they cannot profit personally, they don't want to engage in. And you don't know, what about the Israel you are seeing today as a country? The people, most of the people that started Zionism, that led to Israel having their country, most of them didn't even live to see their country or the country Israel. Most of them, I say very many of them, didn't live to see. What our people want, they start something today, tomorrow you get profit. That's why our people are always deceived. Simon Ekpa came and started telling our people the date Biafra will come. And some people are, they fall. You say people, I'm not saying that. Biafra will come 2nd of December 2024. Hey, I'm not saying that. God, the people. Our people love to yell, they love to yell that thing that is in their fantasy. You tell it to them. So, call on, what's up? Please go on. Call on, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mazi, I'm there. Mazi, good evening.
Thank you for holding on.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mazi. All right. Mazi, my name remains. I'm calling you from Zoological Republic.
Sorry, Mazi, caller on WhatsApp. I'm talking, not. Are you on WhatsApp? Yes. Okay, go on. Yes. Sorry, I thought you are calling from Signal. Call on Signal. Hold on, I'll come to you. Mazi, go on. You're on WhatsApp. Yes, you're right. Go on. Call on WhatsApp. Go on.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Mazi, yes. Mazi, in line with your today's topic, Mazi, do you know that history always repeats itself? Mazi, there's something that happened during colonial era is something that is happening today. You know, you talk about Sir Ahmad Bello. Mazi, do you know during the independence, those colonial era, Zik called Zik of Africa, he's very pompous, egocentric, very pompous, you can't challenge his word. Whenever he comes to Igbo land, he raises his shoulder that he is the most educated and the most only person that can lead the whole Nigeria. Mazi, but Sir Ahmad Bello, if he goes to the north, he is loyal to his people. They swear that he took an oath with Quran that he will abide by the rules and regulations governing Islamic country, Islamic brotherhood. But you see this, our brother Zik, Mazi, he's very pompous, arrogant, and rude. That is why Britain now saw this man and see this man can never do their bid. Mazi, do you understand? They now handed Nigeria over to the north. Mazi, let me read something out for you. Ask your AI. During the independence, does British want Christianity to get to northern part of Nigeria? AI will answer you no. That Britain resisted, not Christianity reached to the north. Mazi, we're in a very big mess for our brothers shouting, God, come and help me, Sharia, come and help me. Mazi, this country, Mazi, let me tell you, all the prophecy of Mazi Nnamdi is what is happening. They must try to dig their Quran to Atlantic Ocean. Mazi, if not you guys, if not this IPOB, Mazi, let me tell you, both this state I am, this our eastern region, by now, you will see everybody start changing their name. In the same way it happened. You know, during the Civil War, immediately, this Nigerian military got to this riverside called Port Harcourt, Calabar, and so others. They now tell them, if you don't change your name, we are going to massacre all of you. They now change their name and denounce they are not longer Igbo. Mazi, who are the same trick these people are using coming down towards here? For you to assume as a politician, look at Governor of Enugu State, Mazi, somebody that voted under PDP now in the same party, in the same position he got to, he assumed power. He now be in the same position and now switch to APC. Mazi, for you to know that Islamization is taking place in a very greater height. Look at all the whole killings that is happening. Mazi, no Christianity, no church, no pastor, no clergy is talking about it. If not the help of God through the help of Teddy Cruz, Mazi, none of them will talk about it. Mazi, all these things is happening just like a joke, not a joke, Mazi. You know, the other time in one of the broadcasts, you said, have you seen Sultan talking about this Christian genocide? No, but they now send a fellow Christian to go to America and now defend that this is not genocide. Mazi, you have said everything all. Mazi, we will continue pushing what we are pushing and prayer to our reader. Mazi, all their fight now is just to destroy IPOB, but God will never allow them. In fact, not God, because God have made us. Give us hand, give us ear. Why are we calling God again? We fight with our knowledge and get our freedom. Mazi, this is what I want to contribute in your today's topic. May God bless you.
There were. Thank you very much. Caller on signal, please go on. Mazi, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Mazi Jonathan.
There were.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program.
I am Mazi Celestine Oba, and I am coming from Ground Zero Homeland, precisely. Mazi, let me swiftly dive in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appearance in Sukkot today. Now, in a nutshell, what we are contesting is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that the charges against him was not valid. And when a charge is not valid, it means that the law under which that charge was put on is dead. That is, it is void. So now what people have to understand is that this law that they based on the charges upon which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu charges is predicated was terrorism act of prevention of terrorism act of 2013, which has been replaced by 2022 or rather terrorism and prohibition act. So what this means is that since this law has been amended, that you cannot charge somebody under a dead laws. You can put something on nothing and expect it to stand. Beyond that, we understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted. The judge was acquitted. The order on 13th of 2022 to order that there is no anybody that can rearrest, molest, or charge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before any court in Nigeria. And all these court judgments are still subsisting because there is no any higher court that has quashed any of this order of appeal court judgment. So it becomes illogical how a lower court will be trying somebody that has already been cleared by a higher court. So you see, when we say Nigeria is a zoo, when you begin to look at things that are happening, then you begin to ask yourself, is this really happening in a human society? So, Professor Jonathan, that is that for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. And what we are saying is, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, allow him to go because he committed no offense. You cannot kidnap somebody from Kenya and extraordinarily rendition him against his will, and you want to put him on trial. That extraordinary rendition has created a kind of legal barrier that Nigerian government cannot put him on trial. And by that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still a prisoner of conscience and a victim of state-sponsored terrorism because Nigeria broke even Kenya border and immigration laws. So we are asking them, allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go. He committed no offense. Beyond that, Professor Jonathan, I want to say that every state, the zoo is a state or contraption. It is not a nation, it is not a country, it is not a nationhood. It doesn't possess any of the features of the aforementioned names. So, every image the world of zoo, Nigeria, have been completely disintegrated, giving rise to a more prosperous and organic nation that are anchored on common value system or share common value system. Because this share common value system is the bond that the people has. That was why Yugoslavia disintegrated. That was why USSR disintegrated. That was why India and Pakistan separated. Because you cannot carry people with different diverse value and mix them together and expect any meaningful advancement. Take for instance what happened in the Bible story when the Jews were trying to build the Tower of Babel. They speak common language, they eat common food, they do everything together, which means the core values are very, very similar. They are bonded. But when God sees what they are trying to do, then he put confusion into them. And everywhere was coerced. And that is what is happening in Nigeria state because we don't have anything common. So, I wouldn't even know whether During the time, Doctor, and let me remove that doctor because it doesn't possess the quality of doctor. During the time of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, I don't know whether we don't have radicals that would have stood and they take everything that it takes, even if to assassinate him, to make sure that that direction that put us to where we are did not come to materialization. I wouldn't understand whether Biafran politicians are being driven by selfishness and the greediness, and you say that it is that same thing that is still happening to the ones we have today. It is a sorry situation, but there is nothing we can do other than to fight for Biafra to Professor Jonathan, remain our entity, and here on Radio Biafra, the freedom is our message, and we must make this message loud that the entire global community must hear our voice. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
There were Mazi. There were. Thank you very much. We must continue. Thank you very much. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? I think you'll be the last caller. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Mazi, good evening, sir.
There were Mazi.
Mazi, thank you so much for today. Honestly, there has been several times you've made mention of, or should I say, presentation of this topic per se regarding to India and how the colonists went over there and finally they got their independent and set free today. So, but tonight, I will appeal for you. There is something Mazi Karola AK used to do. Anytime he has a broadcast, a superior broadcasting, a very clear broadcast between you and Mazi Chinasa, he used to send. I'll go to a general platform, send it. So I'm appealing to you this particular night phone because you dictate on this who is an Indian more precisely than the other time. I'm being objective. I don't know if others understand what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that, you know, I've engaged with so many of us down here. When you tell them that, look out, a reference to what we are doing, that we have learned from this that happened to India and Japan. And this is what the Indians question themselves among and said, now we have to put aside anything prioritizing religion to our culture, you know, and economy. They will tell you, no, it's not true. That you are, you know, making mockery of God, that God is the primary ruler of everything. So I'm begging you tonight, if there is a way you can send this clip of a presentation, the interpretation, because network was so hazy down here. At the time, intermittent, it to cease on my own side, and it will pop up again. So I wasn't getting it right, trying to record it from somebody's phone. So I'm just begging you, if there's a way you can send it to me. Even the number I'm calling you now is not my regular number. My phone has an issue, but to work a phone here in Nigeria, after 2 years now, the money to change the screen is higher than what we bought it from. So that's the zoo yourself. Then that one apart, I want to also ask our Onyendu, the courts that ruled on the favor of us, definitely in favor of not only IPOB, or in favor of all Nigerians, that Nnamdi Kanu can be discharged and acquitted, and he should be paid damage for every other thing, you know, beneficial to him. Is it the customary courts, or the judiciary courts, or the high court? I want to know the level of the people, the class of where the jury came out from then. Because I also engaged with one of our brothers down here, you know, who have been seen as buying and selling people, who don't check records, who don't follow things, the nitty-gritty of things ahead of us. So he now told me that I'm not understanding the jury. I said, you that is always here selling things to us to go and use for our clients. Now you are the one telling me again what I know. He said, no, that the people who wrote the thing is the high court, that is supposed to be the appeal court, as in the Supreme Court. that's supposed to give this verdict, not the judiciary or maybe the normal high court. So I was like, am I confused or what? He almost got me down. But tonight, I'm getting another vital information that it was the appeal court. I think it's supposed to be the Supreme Court that have ruled it. So why is it that who is this recent justice now, judge, who is replying our leader that he needs to consult whoever, professional, legal, whatever, to interpret what they have in their constitution for him. So I'm now asking, why would this man ask our leader to go and make a reference to any other professional, international lawyers or whatever to get the nitty-gritty of what has played out today from our leader telling him that he don't find any confidence in anything attached to his case again, that he has no case to come out for anymore. So I'm just trying to find out, please, how did this play out? Is it that we need to accept what this judge said, or need to move in Africa to ICT at this moment? Because this thing is making me feel like these guys, they really do not want peace. So I just want to know from you. Thank you so much, sir.
First of all, I think this will be the last caller. Please, last call. Concerning the recording, when I finish my broadcast, most of the time, sometimes I used to push the WhatsApp recording of the broadcast. And also, if you are available, what we are doing is voluntary. It's a sacrifice. If you are available listening to me, whenever there is a broadcast, live broadcast, you can also take it upon yourself in order to record it by yourself if you have the normal equipment. Please, this is an appeal, because so this is it. Sometimes somebody can volunteer and you might inbox me that you are recording, so that anytime I'm coming online on live program, I will inform you for you to be ready. That is it. That is what I want to appeal to our people. If I finish sometime, I push it out to different groups. That is it. So, in the case of our leader's case, our leader opted out of frustration because of the Nigerian system and the way the attorneys have messed up the case. He decided to, represent himself, but under normal judicial procedure. That is what he is now the victim, but he's representing himself. Personally, I see it as abnormal anyway. Although had it been these people, the present attorneys has worked with IPOB, I believe that all these things wouldn't have been the case, honestly, because there would have been a very big synergy since that 2022 discharge and acquitted by the Court of Appeal, because that is how it should be. Discharged and acquitted by the Court of Appeal. That court order should have been respected. That is the law first, before any other appeal or any other thing. That is how it is. But it wasn't. So you see that Nigeria is a mere geographical location. There is nothing that works. Look at when Showore was granted bail last week. Look at what they did. The police even pursued the judge before he can sign the bail bond, and use violence to take away Showore. This is a country where nobody knows nothing works, in short. And everybody, every parastatal, every group behaves as they want. Governments behave, you check government, they are behaving even more like free parastatal. Every group behaves as they want. Governments behave, you check government, they are behaving even behaves as they want. Governments behave, you check government, they are behaving even more like criminal than see the light of other countries. I'm telling you honestly. That's why they thought that everything happening there is how human beings live. A policeman that should be, a government agent doing something that is mandated by the law, he should be proud to put his name, put his badge number. You video him, no problem about it, because he's mandated by the law normally. But Nigerian police, they block the road, they don't wear uniform, they wear tata jeans with a canvas, where it dress like the courtiers, armed robbers. You see them, and they carry guns, heavy guns. You say, which kind of people are like this? Are they criminals or no? You don't know. That's why sometimes they can kidnap people on the way. Police, after the police department will deny that these are not police, they will come to your house to arrest you for just to rob you, to kidnap or kill you or rob you. If anything goes wrong, Nigerian police will deny that no police people will come there. Which kind of country is this? Normally, policemen, they wear their uniform, bright uniform, very smart. Put their name tags, put their badge numbers. Anything they are doing, they identify themselves. They say, yes, we are police. Look at, see my name. Because they are doing the right thing. They are doing the thing mandated by the law. But it is only in Nigeria that they behave like criminals, and they are criminals. And they are being protected by a department. And you wonder. So, Mazi opted to represent himself. And he said, after studying his file, he saw that there is no charge, no viable charge against him. So, the judge adjourned the case till 4th, 5th, and 6th of November for the adoption of the final written address. He told Mazi he said he advised him to consult experts in criminal law on the consequences of the option he has chosen. Because if you are in a situation like that, you should be represented by an attorney. Even there are countries they would never try you without an attorney. I'm telling you. Yeah, but Nigeria is a different thing altogether. So let's see how all these things play out. That is it. So, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, this is where I'm going to stop. Biafra remains our ideology. We are trying everything in this quest for freedom. We are trying to build a functioning political system where the system controls every individual, where the system mandates or will mandate the people to act accordingly, to serve the population accordingly, to do things not according to their own goodwill, no, but according to how the system, because the system mandated, forced them to do so. So that public servants, for example, politicians will be building road, building infrastructure, people will not be thanking them. Because they are not doing it with your money. You know, in Nigeria, why people are, once somebody, a governor build road, everybody will thank him. Because he's doing it out of his own pity, passion, or pity, goodwill. It shouldn't be so. A governor shouldn't be thanked because he is building road, he is building bridge. No, it's not his money, for goodness sake. He is elected there to do the job. That is one of some of the things he's elected there to do. It's not using his salary to do it. No. But you know, in the case of Nigeria, they will say, because if he didn't do it, you cannot hold him accountable. You cannot hold him. That is the thing. People tell you, what if he didn't do it? If he decides to steal the whole money, what are you going to do? And they are right. So you see that there is no functioning political system there that mandates people, that holds people accountable. I've said it here several times. A cabinet minister in the present French president, Emmanuel Macron's presidency, or his cabinet, a serving cabinet minister, resigned, was forced to resign. Do you know the reason? He held a party during the birthday party. He had either his birthday party or his wife's birthday party, and inside the birthday party they saw a kind of costly drink like wine, some wine that maybe might cost maybe 500 euro, the wine, and what they serve there is shrimp, crayfish, good shrimp. Somebody videoed it and leaked it to the public, to the press, and it became the public went agog, uproar. They say, so this man, you are using who are you to host this guy? You are eating shrimp in a birthday party, eating crayfish in a birthday party, drinking this costly wine, which I work my ass off, I cannot afford, and you are doing it. That is how systems work. That is how functional systems work. They mandate you to do the right thing, to checkmate you. So the man was forced to resign. President Macron told him, you see, you have to resign. And he resigned with apology. But let it be in Nigeria, for example, a politician. If you talk, even people will say, nah, you the jealous him. Can you be like him? What do you the jealous say? He chop my money now, no be politician he be. That is where the problem lies. The mentality. I've been saying it. It's not about the politicians in control. No, it is about the mentality of the people. The people that demonize wisdom and knowledge. They demonize it. Say it's Illuminati. They are evil. They are demons. People that know secrets, research, and enter into secrets of governance, structure things, nations to progress. They demonize them. Say they are Illuminati. They are satanic. This is the problem. These are the problems, not the political elites. No, it is the mentality. Our leader Mazi has been saying, he has been hammering on it, that the way black people reason is fundamentally flawed, and I 1000% concord with him. That is the problem we are having. It is not about the few politicians, the few elites. No, the way the population reason is completely fundamentally flawed. That is the problem we are having, and here we expose it so that we change. Biafra remains our ideology. Biafra remains our religion, our tradition and culture included. And with it, we are going to build a functional political system Thank you for listening. We must continue to making sure that Biafra is restored without fear or favor. And we will never stop, because it is better not to start than to start and stop. Remember, the war in 1970 was precipitously stopped abruptly, and today here we are doing the same thing. The same thing. Here we are still shouting about the Biafra restoration, of which Bangladesh took the step of Biafra, activated the right to self-determination in 1972, and they got it. South Sudan consistently fought 2 times, 2 wars for 39 years, and today they have their country. But here we are, going back to being in the status quo. He who fights to run away, we fight again. That is it. You cannot wish it away. That is the thing. So it's our collective responsibility to support what we are doing. Otherwise, we will be sorry. The next generation that is coming after us will be worse. They will be in a worse quagmire than us. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening.
Biafra, Ebeka Monosi, Biafra Gaimara, Biafra Ganebozo Gamiri, Agaimara.